I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. Okay, enough of that. A fine young chap at the dispensary. I told you about my friend in the last video. About his experience, the uplifting, the heartwarming Easter story of him getting his medical card. You all know what that is. Yeah, so he said he's gone to a couple different dispensaries so far, and he explained it this way. When you walk in at all the dispensaries, a lot of them have glass facades, but they're blocked in with paper or something, so you can't see in. It's I guess it's like a strip club. You can't see in. Um, they have to block it out from public view. So it's the same in a dispensary. It's blocked out. You can't see inside. You wonder if it's even open sometimes, some of them. That's what he said. Uh so you go in the door, you don't know what to expect. There's a pre-area before you get to the area where you buy your stuff. He said the one dispensary he went to, it had about 20 seats and a large waiting area and a desk, as if you're checking into a hotel or something. Not quite as big as a hotel desk, but something similar to that. And you have to wait till someone kind of checks you in before you're allowed to get near the real deal. So you can't just walk right up to a counter and point to what you want. It's not it's there's a process, people. There's a process. So once the person gets you checked in, because there's only, a few employees running this, 3, 4 at the most. That's what he said. So one of them has to check people in, and they kind of take turns, is what he said. So once you got to, if you don't have your medical card yet, you hand them your driver's license. So they look you up, make sure you're legit and you're not some crazy motherfucker just trying to walk in a dispensary and buy weed without the proper credentials. Because I imagine people have tried that. I would never be crazy enough to try that, but I guarantee potheads have tried that shit. Oh, what do you mean I'm not in the registry? What are you talking about? I got my card. I just don't have it on me. Come on, let me guess something today. Let me get like a dime or something. No, it's not how it works. You got to be in the registry. They're going to run your name through the computer. Make sure you're legit. Make sure you have credentials. Then when an attendant in the main area is free, they come grab you from the waiting area, and it's real exciting. And it's usually I forgot that part. The actual area is usually blocked off, so not everyone can see in that area either. He said the one dispensary had basically just a cutout in the wall, so you could see through a little bit of that room. But the other dispensary had it completely blocked, so when you're getting checked in, you can't even see the back portion where people are selling the product. And both dispensaries, he said he could tell they emphasized customer service, like how nice the people were. It was almost nauseating. And So they bring you over to basically a cash register, and I guess you would call it an iPad of some sort. It might not be an actual iPad. I don't know. I wasn't there. So he said the product is broken down to, sorry about that. When you He said the person at the counter shows you the menu and they explain the discounts. Because when you're a new medical card person and you are trying to find which dispensary pleases you the most, because there are several different companies, um, True Leave, I forget, Miracle Leaf. There's several different companies you could choose from, and they're competing for business big time. That's why the customer service bullshit. So, oh, that other dispensary company is called Fluent. That's right, Fluent. He met there. That's a few of the names. So in one dispensary, again, you couldn't even see the back part where they were selling the product. And in the other dispensary, there was a cutout in the wall. So you get taken back. Now you're at the iPad and they're trying to explain things to you like discounts. That's right, I was on discounts. I'm sorry. The one dispensary said you get 50% off your first visit, 40% off your second, and 30% off your third, something like that. He said the other dispensary, 60% off your first visit, 50% off your second, 40% off your third, and you got to use those right away. They want you to buy in bulk right off. They're trying to give you a discount for a bulk amount, which is awesome for people because prices. They had stuff anywhere from $30, $25 an eighth, $20 an eighth, $30 an eighth, $35 an eighth, $36 an eighth, $40 an eighth, $50 an eighth, $60, and maybe a little higher than that. Like just all excellent stuff. And it sells by the eighths. That's how they do it. Each eighth is in its own canister. So again, the menu, they kind of explain the iPad to you. And when you look at it yourself, it's broken down into different categories. You can look at all indica weed. You can look at all hybrid weed and indica weed. You can look at hybrid indica, like, you can look at sativa. You can see on each brand of weed, they give the weed ridiculous names that don't mean shit to me. Uh, uh, like earthquake, um, stupid names like that. So each, so you know, so the batch can have a name, and you can click on it. And I believe he said the opening screen shows the THC levels in each kind that you click on. He said there was some as low as in the teens, THC percentage, and some as high as almost 30% THC. Remember back in the hippie days, weed was like I've heard 2% or a very small percentage. Now they got weed to where the THC percentage is over 30%. It's insane. It's insane. It's paradise. That's what he says. So yeah, you can pick out your THC percentage. So if you like a low percentage, you don't want to get rocked. You can't handle that strong stuff. You need that stuff that's closer to the old days. You can find that. If you want the stronger stuff, that the highest THC count you can get, you can buy that. It's more expensive, of course. What was I going to say? There's also another thing that my friend just learned about that he explained to me. There's a thing called terpenes in marijuana. There's also another name similar to terpenes that is used scientifically. I can't remember what that is right now. Let's call them terpenes. Uh, my friend asked his friend, what what was he looking for when he would go to the dispensary? Because my friend said his friend always got the good stuff. So if you don't really know what you're looking for and you go into a dispensary, you don't really know what suits you. You might have to buy a few different kinds and eventually find that right one, and you will find it. Uh, don't worry, you will find it, young Padawan. You just got to know what you're looking for. And my friend said he didn't know precisely what he was looking for the first time. He knew he needed sativa. He just wasn't sure about certain other things. And he was out of his mind. I explained in the last video the first time he walked into a dispensary and had the legal right to buy whatever the fuck he wanted and not have to worry about it. And not have to make it a backroom deal with some dude on the street to buy it. Not have to worry about going to jail. Anyway, where was I going with this? Terpenes. My friend explained that his friend chose, he would always go to the dispensary and ask for 4.0 terp. What does that mean? 4% terpene. Different terpenes. My friend said the closest thing he could find to that was 3.66 terpenes percentage, not THC, terpenes, or that other scientific word that begins with a T that describes that stuff. You know what I'm talking about, some of you. I just learned about this recently. I didn't know what a fucking terpene was to save my life. Now I know. So, my friend ended up again in the first dispensary. He got indica because he was in shock. He knew he needed sativa, but he's just so in awe of like what was going on. He picked a kind of weed quickly, just had his mind set on it and just bought it because he was out of his damn mind. And it's almost as if he said it was almost as if he didn't do it right then and just get it bought, that he'd wake up from some dream or something and it wouldn't be real. So again, the first time he was so hyped up, he bought indica, and it made him feel sleepy, dopey, and not sharp, and he didn't like it. When he went to the second dispensary, he had to go, I forget how many days he said after the first run, because I'm sure there's a limit. I'm sure you can't go there every day and buy a fucking ounce. I'm sure there's a limit. I don't know what that limit is. So he gets to the second place and they have better discounts. They have a little bit bigger of a place. And he explained that, they don't just have the weed in the counters in front of you in this state where I'm at. That's not how it works. You're standing in front of a person who's behind a counter at a register, and you're looking at an iPad as a menu, which is brilliant, by the way. So you're not looking at the product. You're not, that's not how it works. You're not, it's not some brilliant glowing showroom full of different marijuanas just all over the fucking place. No. When you make your selection, they go back to another room and they bottle it up for you, or maybe it's pre-bottled. I don't know. Maybe there's a certain amount of bottles back there. They just grab two or whatever and come out. So it's not even done in front of you. Uh, I guess that's so someone can't just run in and rob the place so easily. I don't know. I guess it's just better to do it that way. Maybe they need a camera right on that shit when the employee's doing it too. We're talking about weed here. So I'm sure they're watching people closely with the product. So maybe that's one of the reasons. It's in a special room, cameras aimed. You're supposed to work in camera view. I don't know. I'm just making assumptions. So my friend finally decided he knew he needed sativa this time. He knew indica was not right for him whatsoever. He knew that before too, but again, he was out of his mind. So he picks a sativa with the highest terpene percentage he could find. There's a how do you look at terpenes? That was a problem he said he had to figure out how to do that. Um he had to let, an employee know, hey, help me out with this. You know what this is, right? And he said the employee was like, yeah, man. like fuck off. I know what it is. Like I know my shit. And I'm no expert on marijuana here. Like I don't get all scientific and shit with it, but I'm just explaining the dispensary experience that a fine young chap had. So he checks all the different sativas. There was about 7, 8, 9 different sativa strains of marijuana that you could look at on the menu. So you click on the strain, then there's a second thing you can click on that takes you to another chart about that specific flower that you've chosen. And at the very bottom it says terpene percentage or something like that. I can't remember the exact phrase. And you'll see it right there in bold. The number, the percentage of terpenes in the flower. So he told me that was the right stuff. That's what he got. He got a quarter of that, which is 2 little bottles, basically with an eighth in each one. And he said that's the right stuff. And I guess that's a problem when you get the card if you don't like know scientifically what you're looking for. And I wouldn't know. I never looked at it that way. I heard people talk back and forth over the years about indica and sativa and all the scientific shit regarding marijuana, and I kind of just disregarded all of it. Me and the people that I knew, when we got marijuana, we weren't asking the dealer, hey, you got sativa or indica or what's going on here? Because I need sativa, man. No, 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 no. That's not how it works on the black market. On the black market, you get what your dealer has. That's simple. Unless you have a special dealer that has a motherfucking assortment or something, but most don't. They get a batch from someone else, and that's what they're selling. And if you don't want it, then that's all they got on the menu. Fuck off. There's another motherfucker that will want it. Trust me. Trust me. They ain't gonna be crying about the business. So the fine young chap got the stuff he was looking for, and it only took him 2 dispensaries and several discussions with his friend. And I think that's great. I think it's good that you can do that. And the menu system is incredible to me, how it's all broken down scientifically. And it's a way, despite I guess the dispensaries when they don't get the same batch. The same batch doesn't keep coming in forever. So you have to kind of scientifically find the new batch that's right for you in that kind of weed that you want, sativa or indica. At least you can break it down that much and kind of half and half it. If you know you like indica, you're looking at one menu. If you know you like sativa, you're looking at another menu. And it's all broken down scientifically again. The the fine young chap really enjoyed that. And again, he's still not, he feels like he's going to wake up from a dream and it won't be true anymore. Again, I know I already used that one, but that's what he said, like that basically. I'm trying to think if I missed anything with the dispensary experience. Um, the pricing I kind of explained. The first discount at 60% is pretty damn amazing. I mean, a person would need a bit of money to get any bulk amount, though. But I'm sure there's a limit. You're not going to walk out of there with a pound or something. You fucking fiends out there. But I just thought it was really cool that that happened. I thought it was very heartwarming, uplifting story. And this shit honestly needs to be decriminalized anyway. You shouldn't go to jail because you've got a quarter ounce of fucking weed in your car. You know what I mean? Like that's ridiculous in today's society. It's not necessary. But anyway, I don't I don't think I missed anything. I want people to have the full experience. Um, because I think it's pretty incredible. And I'm glad it's happening and I'm glad it's becoming an industry down here. I don't think it's going anywhere. Uh, I guess the state's making a nice chunk of change off this, and it'll only grow over time as more and more people check it out. And it's very interesting how it's all set up. Because when people hear dispensary, someone who's never been inside one, they picture this, glass counters around the whole place with fucking weed just out that you can look at and smell and all that. And that's not, again, that's not how it works. It's a more clinical thing, I guess. More, you know, you're looking at it artificially through an iPad, but it's just incredible how it's all broken down. And there's a thing called minis that they sell, like you can buy for a little less money, which is small size buds. I guess broken up buds. It's not powder, it's smaller buds than original. Uh, he said the one dude at the second dispensary kept trying to push those on him. And he said, no, I'm not interested. I just want the straight up, stuff. And another thing about dispensary, here's another thing of getting your medical card, being able to go to a store and buying it and getting access to the same kind, the best kind, the kind that you need all the time. You got choice. You got a menu like going to a fucking restaurant. Uh, versus the black market. The black market, it's more stepped on, it's gone through more hands. Um, it's not as fresh. Did you hear me, folks? It's not as fresh. That's a big deal. Uh, you don't want dried out stuff. You want stuff that's fresh. and like has a stickiness. Um, that's what you get at the dispensary. That's what you might not get on the black market. So that's another thing. There's a quality increase. And what else you get from the dispensary and that you can't get on the black market is the same kind all the time, the same chemical makeup. Like I said before, most dudes, they take what their dealer has. That's what they have to buy. There's no menu. What is this, Roy Rogers and shit? No, it's not. It's a weed dealer. You know, you either buy it or you don't. And if it's indica and you're not really, that's not your favorite kind, well, you that's what you got. You got no choice. Dispensary, you have a choice. A quite fine choice, if I may say so myself. And he explained some of the different colors. Some of the weed was white, some of it was like beige, uh, gold, a lot of lime green, stuff like that. I thought that was interesting. So I don't know. Again, I just wanted you to have the full experience with the fine young chap, so you know what it's like. I thought it was fascinating. And if I think of more, I'll let you know. Anyway, I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful Easter.